bragging away about some crooked thing that he's done and how he pulled the wool over someone's eyes. And he confuses that with wisdom and intelligence. And one of the things that you see, this is worth knowing too, because if you're preyed upon by a psychopath, which you will be to some degree at some point in your life, the psychopath, who will be narcissistic, will presume that you're stupid and that you deserve to be taken advantage of because you're naive and stupid. So it's actually a good thing that he's doing it. And there's proof for, and I'm saying he because there are more male psychopaths, the proof that you're stupid naive is that he can take advantage of you. And so, like, if you were wiser, you'd be, you'd know his tricks, and then it wouldn't be morally necessary for him to show you just exactly who knows what about what. And so the psychopath will use his ability to fool you as proof of his own grandiose omnipotence, omniscience, and narcissism. And the problem with that is that you can be fooled by a psychopath, and virtually anybody can.
Let's get into the psychology. That's really what I'm here for. So, in order to kind of, because I feel like I'm lying to you guys a little bit. So, what I mean is, the term psychopath and sociopath don't actually exist. There isn't a DSM-5 diagnosis for sociopath or a psychopath. They actually aren't clinical or academic terms. The closest thing to what people are actually trying to describe are personality disorders, particularly the ones that fall under the branch of antisocial and narcissistic. Many of them intersect, so it's not always easy to label someone. So, just for the sake of specificity, I know many of you probably think I'm going to say he is a narcissist, and he is, but hear me out. I think he's more antisocial than a narcissist. Sure, a lot of what he says can easily come off as egotistical. However, one huge indicator of antisocial behavior is, well, just pay very close attention to how he speaks about others. Is he talking about them as if they are a human being, or merely objects for him to use for his own personal gain? This is a key indication of antisocial behavior, an inability to humanize people and instead treating them as like things. The only reason he is nice is because he realized that it's hard, way harder, getting what he wants unless he resorts to manipulating people. On top of that, he has a total disregard for the law and rules of society and thinks he doesn't have to follow them, that he is above them. Here is what I would consider a very reputable source, the literal list from Mayo Clinic on narcissism and antisocial behavior. I'll show as many clips as I need to encapsulate all the criteria. So I know many of you probably want me to focus on the narcissistic personality disorder, and I'm sorry. Yeah, he does meet a lot of criteria for it, but what I think he meets more of the criteria for is actually antisocial personality disorder. Okay, so the reason I say that is let's just take a look. If you want to read the overview, you're more than welcome to. The video's kind of getting long, so you can pause it and read over it. I'm going to pass over it for now. So I've already kind of skimmed some of this beforehand, and he definitely meets a lot of the criteria. So let's go over the symptoms real quick. Antisocial personality disorder signs and symptoms may include disregard for right and wrong. He oftentimes talks about how he's a man of God, but then at the same time has like a webcam business. It seems to me that right and wrong are kind of dictated by him, and he can just decide wrong is right and right is wrong whenever he so chooses. Coincidentally, everything he decides is right just happens to work toward his ego.
And also, I like Eastern Europe as a whole because corruption's far more accessible. I find it offensive that a police officer in England will stop you for speeding and then refuse to take a bribe and pretend that... No, but I'll tell you why. Because he'll sit there and go, no, this is the law and order, and pretend that the law means something and fuck me over. But if you're a billionaire, or if you're Boris Johnson, you can go to Epstein's Island, you can fucking throw parties during COVID, you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? So the whole idea of law and order is a lie. The whole idea of it's bullshit. It's just about if you're high enough, you can throw it all away. I'd rather be in a society where if I'm in Prague and they stop me for speeding and they say, bro, you were speeding. Oh, here's $50. All right, cool. Bye. If corruption exists, which it does, let us all play. Why do only they get to play and I don't get to play? So you live in England and they're going to come around and spout law and order at you all day long, but the elites, they ignore all law and order. It's always been bullshit. It's always been lies.
Well, do you have like a ranking system? Like you have a main piece and then side girls? How does that work?
I'm a man of God. I read the Bible. I go to church. I don't know. I can't possibly answer these questions. This is obviously going to be watched by every single female that has any kind of association to me, and I'm loyal to all of them.
But do you not think it's because we're not holding men accountable? So when a man, because he's a top G, cheats on a woman, it's like, well, what do you expect? When you should actually turn around to him and
Accountable
say...
for what? Accountable for his natural evolutionary biology.
Is cheating morally correct?
Yes.
It depends.
Yes!
How
So
do you
you're
say?
Did anybody catch that appear to nature fallacy real quick?
How can you say that? Are you
You're
joking?
okay with your woman cheating on you then?
Absolutely not. That's her.
No, because
Oh, it's a wrap when she cheats on you, but you can cheat on her.
There has not been, in the history of humanity, across any culture, any book, any story, any fable, there has never been across the history of humanity any respect put on the name of a promiscuous female, ever. You name the biggest conquerors that you can possibly name from history. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, all of them. They all had 100 wives, bunch of children, Big G, conquered the world. Normal.
And again, a appeal to tradition. Just because they did it doesn't make it morally right. You identify as a Christian. You later converted to Islam. Now, I'm not Muslim myself, but last I checked, both of those religions aren't fans of what you just said. Okay, just wanted to double check. I think it's pretty clear. It seems to me his notion of right and wrong is deeply ingrained in whatever benefits him the most. I don't understand how you can reconcile supposedly being a man of God, but at the same time, you literally just said you think it's morally right for a man to cheat. So it seems to me that you have a total disregard for right and wrong, and it's just based on what you feel at the moment. It seems to me your religiosity is more of a front in order to raise your status and come off as more virtuous than everyone else. Persistent lying or deceit to exploit others. He does this to women all the time. His own webcam business. He literally talks about how he lied to women and basically did not tell them that he was dating multiple of them at a time. So he basically brings them all together and tells them that they're going to be cam girls, and basically decides he's going to just treat them as commodities.
What do you think about OnlyFans?
She's my property, so she's selling my property. Like, if we're gonna rent out my house, then I get the money, right? You're my chick, you're my property. You're gonna sell pictures of my property. Cool, where's my money? How much money did we make? My money, give me my money. So the only answer is I gotta bring them all to me, and I gotta be in charge. So I flew all 5 chicks in. None of them knew about each other, nothing. Thank you. Sat down at a nice restaurant. Me, Tristan, he flew 2, I flew 5, 7 girls. So look, about to get rich. This is my plan. I'm gonna do this. I put a spin on it, of course. Big boss, big G, got big opportunity. This money's been invested. I've always wanted you to live with me. Now's your chance. You can leave Paris, you can leave Croatia, you can leave whatever. You come live in London with me. You're gonna do this. You're gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich. Blah blah blah. Put a spin on it.
Anybody want to take a guess what put a spin on it means?
You're all gonna live here. Of my 5 girls, obviously they all kicked off. Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? I'm like, look, you're all mine. Get over it. Talk about money now. This is a higher purpose. But you fucked her. Yeah, I fucked her. Who cares? We're talking about money. We're talking about millions. Get over it. Some of them got upset. They all started arguing, whatever. 3 left, 2 stayed. And that was the beginning of the empire. The 2 stayed, bought some laptops, sat them down, said, look, you're gonna get this much percent, I'm gonna get this much percent. Wasn't exploitation. They wanted to do it. They were like, yeah, this could fucking make some money. All right, well, cool, let's try it. And me and these 2 chicks started the company from the ground up.
And being callous, cynical, and disrespectful of others.
Now, I'll pull up the internet right fucking now. The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. I'll say this right here on the fucking internet. I don't give a shit. People will sit there and go, oh, you can't say that. Yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been more places, been fucked and dumped more times, more arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess for me to clean up.
Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I can fucking put my imprint on her and make her a good person, and without her having to go through all that detriment to learn about life.
So what's your key age range? 19 to...
It's not just about the age.
Do you think women are the property of men?
No. The point I was making...
Why have you said they are?
Because I made a religious point. I said that when a man marries a woman, the woman's father walks her down the aisle, and hands her away to the man. Traditionally, this is what it says in the Bible. I'm a religious person. I believe in God. I live in the most
So you
religious
do
country in
think
the world.
that the woman becomes the men?
I think she takes his last name.
I mean, let's watch the clip that you said about this,
Sure.
so that we can get it in context.
So I think my sister is her husband's property, yes. When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
Absolutely.
But I've been married twice, as it turns out, and on both occasions, I didn't believe that the woman was being handed to me as chattel, as property.
Perhaps the way the reason I'm asked that question repeatedly, and I'm asked in a loaded way.
So would you rephrase what you said there?
Now, that's an interesting point about phrasing. The way I would say things before I was famous, I have to take personal responsibility and accept that if I make a video that 500 people see and 1% of them misunderstand it, that's not a problem. If I make a video that 5 million people see and 1% of them understand.
So specifically on that point, I think my sister is her husband's property.
She took his last name. She married him. She wanted to join his family. She has said it herself.
Right. So
she's still a sovereign individual. She's absolutely not a sovereign individual.
Property means that the husband owns your sister.
Listen, my friend, if we want to argue about this, we need to go back to the Bible. I was about 23 years old. I had a new girlfriend. Her name was Carrie. And her ex-boyfriend, I stole her from her ex-boyfriend. And if you're a man, you understand that no woman's truly single. You're always stealing her from some other guy, or she's still half talking to her.
If they're beautiful.
Oh, bro, she's half talking to her ex, or she's dating 10 guys. You're always out competing other men, right?
I go broke a lot gambling, so I just try to spend it before I go broke.
That's smart. I had a friend who did that once. I used to live with a gambling addict. He kept getting worse because I kept telling him to gamble more because I'm a good housemate. So every time he'd walk in the house, I'd be like, casino, bro, you can win it all back, and all this shit. He started seriously losing all his money, and he got to the point where if he won the casino, he had to go buy clothes or buy something that day, or he knew he'd lose it again. It was funny to me. It was really funny to watch his life disintegrate because he was actually a millionaire, and then in real time, I watched him like sell his property, sell his car, like completely lose everything.
That's crazy, bro. Gambling is so bad.
I know, but I'm a good friend, so I helped him along the way. I was laughing and shit, you know.
Why'd you say you know CPR? Because I don't lie. I do know CPR. I'm just not gonna help that dude. I don't know that dude. I might wake him up and he's a fucking liberal. No thanks. Fuck that. If you're a hot female, I will administer CPR. That's the only caveat. I will administer CPR if you're a hot female. So if you're a hot female and something happens, I will save your life. However, there are conditions. Once I saved your life, you owe your life to me, which means you owe your entire existence to me. Don't think I'm gonna be saving your life and you're gonna run off being a scat. No, you owe your life to me. I saved your life. You were gonna die. And now you get another 20 years of existence and you think you're just gonna wake your ass up and go off being a scat? Oh, thanks, bye. No.
That's kind of a dead giveaway. Using charm or wit to manipulate others for personal gain or personal pleasure.
But on a chessboard, that's what happens. You control a certain square, a pawn movement. You restrict movement of a particular piece. You slowly constrict. As a master manipulator, I know when someone's trying to manipulate. So when she wants you to agree with her, when she wants you to say yes, she nods. When she wants you to say no, she shakes her head. She gives you the visual prompt. I went into it naively, and she does this so that Oprah agrees. This is the little details. I'm a chess player, right? When you lose chess, there's very often not a big catastrophe. There's tiny catastrophes across the board that put you in a bad situation. By saying, I went to do it really naively, and Oprah going, yeah, we've now established she was naive. Naivety is a sign of victimhood. We've already established now she's the victim. I went into this naively. I didn't know they were so bad. Yeah. Now, the whole frame of the interview is now set. It's been a few seconds. Pay attention to these things, gentlemen. These are very subtle cues. I don't want you guys thinking I'm nitpicking. But on a chessboard, that's what happens. You control a certain square, a pawn movement. You restrict movement of a particular piece. You slowly constrict. And what she's doing is slowly constricting the narrative. I am naive. I did no research, and it's unfair of you to have expected me to have done research. I am a victim.
I have recruited, I think, although you've worked with a lot more girls into, I guess, the adult entertainment industry than anyone else. I really have. And the one type of girl I couldn't recruit were girls with rich parents. Oh, do that for money. I don't need money. My family's rich. So when I see these broke boys on Twitter and on Instagram be like, oh, my daughter, I'm raising her right, and she's like 9 years old, but he like works some crappy job. He's a wagey. I'm like, she's gonna get that Louis Vuitton purse one way or another. So you might want to level up your game and buy it for her, my G.
The temptation is certainly there if they're not completely and utterly financially independent or financially secure. If they're completely financially secure, it's more difficult to try and move them into those kind of industries.
For the sake of keeping this video short, I highly recommend you pause and read these. I'm sorry, but does that not sound exactly like grooming predatory behavior?
So I was trying to motivate girls with money. So the girls who loved me and worked for me, my main girlfriends, they'd get probably around 20% of their money. I'd keep 80% of the money they made. So they basically worked for free. They worked for my love and attention.
So I had these 5 girlfriends in these 5 different cities all around the world. So I thought, well, are the girls an asset? Well, they have beauty. Beauty's valuable.
Remember that thing I said about one of the key traits of antisocial behavior is dehumanizing people and just seeing them as objects? Well, there you go.
So I guess they're an asset. Maybe they can like lend me the money or get jobs and pay me the money or some shit. Because I need to pay this money. I'll pay them back, but I need to pay this money. So I wrote them down. Anyway, as I was thinking, what can these chicks help me in any way? One of the girls offered to lend me like 5 Gs or something. It didn't really help. And I'm sitting there, can these chicks help me in any way? And I'm not a ruthless person. I'm really not an evil person that they try and paint me on the internet. I'm not the guy who's gonna put a bitch on the track. I'm not the guy who's gonna hard pimp a bitch, make her fuck dudes. I'm not that guy. I don't like those kind of things. I don't want anyone to touch my chick. Strip club maybe, but then to open a strip club, you need money, right? How the fuck you open a strip club with no money? You need to build a strip club, it takes money. So I'm sitting there and I'm Googling on the internet, like strip clubs or I was Googling like remote jobs, London, trying to see if there was some remote work I could tell my girlfriends to do online remotely to get the money. And I could tell the guys, look, I'll have the money by this day. And then between me and them and more of the incomes, I could pool the money and get the money, boom, boom. And while I'm looking at remote jobs, in the corner, one of them little videos comes up, talk to live girls now. You know those fucking things are on the porn site. So I didn't know how big like chatting to girls on the internet was. So I clicked on this advert. There's some chick sitting there talking to dudes, putting money on one of these websites. And I was like, I wonder how much she's getting. So then I started looking into this webcam thing, and I realized these girls are making bank. These girls are making fucking money. So that was the plan. I was like, all right, cool. The girls are gonna do webcam girls. So I originally thought I'll set them all up remotely, and they'll do it all from home, and send me the money. But the problem with that, I'll have one as well if you don't mind.
Yeah, okay, can I get
one? Thank you, bro. Cool. So, but then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna be teaching all these girls how to make as much money as they want. Are they really gonna give me money? You know, am I gonna end up with the money or is this gonna go bad for me? Plus, now they need tech. I'm gonna have to send them money to buy tech. Do I really trust the bitch to send the money? Is she gonna work hard? Is she gonna set it up right? This might all go wrong. So the only answer is I gotta bring them all to me and I gotta be in charge. So I flew all 5 chicks in. None of them knew about each other. Nothing. Thank you. Sat down at a nice restaurant. Me, Tristan. He flew 2, I flew 5, 7 girls. So look, about to get rich. This is my plan. I'm gonna do this. I put a spin on it, of course.
Is it just me, or does the phrase "I put a spin on it" sound more like a form of manipulation, like a euphemism for simply just exploiting women sexually to pay off your debts?
Big boss, big G, got big opportunity. This money's been invested. I've always wanted you to live with me. Now's your chance. You can leave Paris, you can leave Croatia, you can leave whatever. You come live in London with me. You're gonna do this. You're gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich. Blah blah blah. Put a spin on it. You're all gonna live here. Of my 5 girls, obviously they all kicked off. Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? Like, look, you're all mine. Get over it. Talk about money now. This is a higher purpose. But you fucked her. Yeah, I fucked her. Who cares? Talk about money. Talk about millions. Get over it. Some of them got upset. They'll start arguing. Whatever. 3 left, 2 stayed.
Keep in mind that this is all coming from someone who claims to be a man of God.
And that was the beginning of the empire. The 2 stayed. Bought some laptops. Sat them down. Said, look, you're gonna get this much percent. I'm gonna get this much percent. Wasn't exploitation. They wanted to do it. They were like, yeah, this could fucking make some money. All right, well, cool. Let's try it. And me and these 2 chicks started the company from the ground up. And we started doing 15, 16, 17-hour days. Now, when the girls were at the computer working, I was at the computer the entire time. Because another thing I learned from doing this business, I learned something about women, is that they are intrinsically, I don't want to use the word lazy, but I will. They have no interest in world conquest. They want to be comfortable. If you show a woman how to make $1,000 an hour, she'll think, I can work 2 hours a week. If you show a man how to make $1,000 an hour, he'll think I can make $18,000 a day.
We want to conquer the world. We want all of it. We want all of it. They're lazy about it. They're like, give me enough for food and rent. Can't be bothered. Lazy. They're lazy. So we didn't have time for lazy, right? So I was like, no, we ain't got time for that. We got to make all of the money. But we made this much today. Not enough. There's more money in the world. It's ours. All of it's ours. I got to the point where I was so obsessed with it. I'd be sleeping in bed because the chicks would sleep me on each side. I'd wake up to go piss. Now by the time I finished pissing, I was awake enough to say, all right, 2 hours sleep. That's enough. Get up. Back to work. We're gonna fucking kill it. So me and these two chicks, and they were about it, right? Because they're getting money as well. Me and these two chicks, we just start fucking hammering the webcam game. Problem is, another thing I knew, when I talk about what women don't find, that women don't know what men find attractive, earlier on in this podcast, everything I said, the webcam company I was running proved that perfectly. The women who were on stream were beautiful, but they didn't have a fucking clue what to say. They were saying all the wrong shit, man. Every day they were saying the wrong shit, and we were losing customers. Everything I was telling you earlier about wanting to be innocent. They're saying, oh, I've been here, I've been there. Like, shut the fuck up. You're talking to some dude. You just want to hear where you've been. You know, you can't be a 10 talking about how you've been to Dubai to some fucking dude in Minnesota who's fat. He ain't gonna ever believe that he's gonna get you that way. You gotta lie to him. You gotta lie to him. She's like, lie and say what? Say that you've never been anywhere because you don't trust men. You can't find a man who's serious. Make him think that if he's serious about you, that nothing else matters. You gotta put a vamoose on it. So I'm trying to teach these women, and the women kept fucking it up. So I said to him,
sometimes I feel like he kind of digs himself in a hole here. He says one thing, and then we can quickly find videos that prove another. You know, just persistent lying or deceit to exploit others. Like, come on.
But you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking over. So what I did is I unplugged their keyboards. I plugged a new one in from me behind the screen. So the chicks would sit there and hit a keyboard that wasn't plugged in. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just vamoosers, just laughing and doing this. Their titties out, and they're talking to fucking ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it. And they come and say, what kind of, all of it. We were fucking milking them dry. Women haven't got a clue how to vamoose a dude. They don't have it, because they rely on their looks. They don't have any of the intellect. They have no game, nothing. They have nothing. Nah, you get a man with game and give him a female's body, a female avatar, you will fuck a guy up. I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all. So like, and it's basic shit, right? You know, feel bad or no? Fuck no. Give me solitary fuck.
Arrogance, a sense of superiority, and being extremely opinionated.
A body count is probably the #1 most easiest way to judge the value of a female.
But I don't want to be a playboy like you. I say, look, if you want to be happily married, the best thing you can be first is a playboy.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do, because you're going to learn a whole bunch about women. You're going to have a whole bunch of choices to choose for a wife. If you're stuck with one option, the one chick you met, she might be a dickhead. Some women are just dickheads. You know, some women have been fucked too hard, too many times by too many big, scary guys, and they just don't want to listen to them. So, like, being a playboy is important.
Someone comes to me and says, I'm clinically depressed, or I feel very, very sad. I would say the first thing you need to do is stop accepting the identity of a clinically depressed person. Stop accepting you have no control over this.
Andrew, you're simply wrong.
If that's what you believe, Piers.
It's what I believe.
I don't believe in things that take power away.
There is not an eminent doctor in the world
Piers,
that would agree with you.
Piers,
do you think you know more than doctors?
I can't become clinically depressed.
Why do you know?
Because I don't believe in it.
So I started thinking, okay, let me approach this logically. I'm a very intelligent man. Let's do this. What do I need? Let's start at the very beginning. What do I want? Money.
Bodybuilding's gay. I'm just gonna say it. Bodybuilding's gay. Bodybuilding is a beauty pageant where dudes try their best to put on muscle so other dudes can say, you're the best looking dude. It's gay. It's super gay. I used to tell them it's gay all the time. It's not gay, it's hard work, dedication, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you bro, bodybuilders are just trying to look tough. They want to look tough, but they're afraid of getting punched in the face. So they don't want to do fighting, because that would make you actually tough. But you have to get punched in the face. So you bodybuilding, where you get to look tough without getting punched in the face, while also being a homo and having dudes stare at your little tiny package in your speakers. Bodybuilding's gay. It's super, super gay. You can't tell me it's not gay.
The reason people get confused because people say hoes ain't loyal and stuff and women ain't loyal. Women are not loyal if they don't love you, because women are loyal to their own emotion only. So if they love you and then they stop loving you, they don't give a shit if you fucking live or die. That's just females as a whole, right? But if a woman's truly in love with you, women can be more loyal than anybody. Like, I have a very loyal team and I have loyal boys completely. But if you have a woman who's truly about it and truly in love with you, man, haven't you seen all these fucking serial killers and their wives help them hide the body and shit? Like, you could get women who are loyal. They're down. They're like, okay, let's hide it. Like, you can get women who are truly loyal. So a woman can't go around people and pretend it's the same as a man running around people. It's absolutely not the same. A man can only cheat if he loves someone else. If I have a woman who I truly love, and I go out and I come back to her, and I don't care about her, and I only love my girl, that's not cheating. That's exercise. If she even talks to a dude, it's cheating. Because females are emotionally invested. Too many people have the wrong idea about me. I'm such a nice guy. I know you look at me and you think, 4-time kickboxing world champion, strong, smart, tall, could definitely steal my girl, has every worldly good a man could possibly desire, unlimited females, to birth his sons. Surely he's arrogant. No, not me. Sorry about that. Obviously, I'm trying to film my Christmas message, and they sent a very polite man to tell me that although I spent $10,000 on this hotel suite over Christmas, along with all the other rich Qataris and everyone else who has the great idea of staying in such a beautiful hotel in London, that I'm not allowed to smoke. I said, for $10,000 a night, my friend, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. So I apologize for the interruption.
Reoccurring problems with the law, including criminal behavior. If you see the text under the photo, you'll see that it mentions that he and Tristan liked to tattoo their name on their victims. There's a little bit of the narcissism I was talking about earlier.
Not serious reason, it's bullshit.
That's not what the police says.
The police thought I did something wrong. Why am I here on the street?
Yeah, that's true as well.
I don't know about that. You're not really doing yourself any favors when you have this posted on your website.
I want to ask you, is that true that you sequestered an American girl in your flat here in Pipera?
I ask girls to leave. I do not try and make them stay.
I think I've shown enough clips at this point that we just know that's a flat-out lie. He is very controlling and constantly has his women under surveillance and doesn't allow them to leave unless he is with them.
It's absolutely not true. I can't talk about the case because it's still pending, but I'll give you a very short version. Some girl was at the house. I saw her once. Many girls come for parties, etc. Her boyfriend caught her there, and she told a bunch of lies to her boyfriend, and her boyfriend called the police.
To be clear, apparently the girl was cheating on her boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call him, and claimed that she was sex trafficked as a way to get out of it. Whether that's true or not, we don't really know.
How did the American girl arrive in Bucharest?
I don't know, a plane, I guess. I don't think she swam, so I guess she took a plane.
Did you pay for the plane?
No. And then her stupid boyfriend made some phone calls to some embassy, some bullshit. I'm a big man with big problems.
Did she have the phone all the time with her?
Of course she did. And she's not even pretty. This girl's average. She's ugly. I don't have time for this.
Maybe it's just me, but it kind of comes off as very petty and kind of narcissistic that you would immediately attack this person's image, even though it has nothing to do with the case. You just want to go ahead and get that in there real quick.
Bullshit. Like, I'm a big man with big problems. I'm doing important things. Some girl and her boyfriend made a stupid phone call. I didn't do anything wrong.
What about the rape accusation? There is a Moldavian girl that says that you raped her.
That's not true. Make it up.
Do you know her? She's been to your house?
Lots of people have been to my house. It's all bullshit.
She's been to her house, to your house.
Listen, I am a good man, a man of God.
I find it so strange how someone who literally made their money basically pimping women on webcams can invoke religion so often.
I've yet to ever go to jail for committing any crime. I'm not a desperate man. I do not need to commit crimes. It's not something I'm interested in.
Let me give you a very quick example. During the height of, for fuck's sake, the subject we're not supposed to talk about, we weren't supposed to leave our houses, right? So, and we weren't supposed to go driving. We weren't allowed to go out the house and drive. Even here in Romania, you couldn't drive without a piece of paper, a specific piece of paper. And every morning I woke up and just started burning around the city in the Porsche. And Tristan used to go to me, and I used to come back with all these fucking papers, and they tried to impound the car. Cops used to come to the gate, and I just get a different car and go out again next day. And Tristan goes, "Why do you keep doing this? It's just headache." I said, I can't just do what I'm supposed to do. They told me what to do, and I can't just do it. I have to not do it. Because then when all this insanity goes down, and some fucking poor matrix slave misses the funeral of his own fucking parent because he's a dumbass and believes it all, I can know that I tried my best, even though he's an idiot, even though he's a moron, I tried my best to resist the enslavement. It's like living with a pure heart. It's a real thing. Like, all this shit went down, and I can say here now with a pure heart on this stream that I resisted more than 99.9% of people on the planet. I got arrested in Germany. I got fines every day. I broke every single rule. I broke every single law. I had a birthday party in the height of COVID that was all over fucking YouTube. We had fucking 100 people in a hotel. I bribed the mayor off. Like, I did anything it took to break the rules. And that made me feel good about myself. So, yeah, was it really to wake people up and help them, to stop them being slaves? Or was it because I had a selfish motivation and I felt good inside of myself knowing I'm not a dumbass? I think we're all semi-selfishly motivated.
This is probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania, because in Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flies. If you're gonna go to the police and say he raped me back in 1988, they're gonna say we should have done something about it then.
If you go to the police and say rape, and yes, they say, okay, if you got physical evidence, or is there CCTV proof? Where'd it happen? Okay, let's go interview him right now. And if it wasn't really rape, I'd say, we went to the club, we got drunk, she agreed to go back to my house, we started having sex, and then we carried on having sex, and then we had sex, and she didn't say anything wrong, and then she texted me afterwards, and I didn't text back, and now she's saying I raped her. The police would be like, okay, she's an idiot, but no, not in the West. In the West, you can tell them that exact story, you're still fucked. You're fucked in the West. People say, why did you in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a fucking rapist. But I like the idea of being able to just say to do what I want. I like being free.
Repeatedly violating the rights of others through intimidation and dishonesty. Well, it looks like he officially got arrested on sex trafficking charges, and it looks like in the case, it was noted that at the beginning of 2021, 4 suspects, 2 British citizens and 2 Romanian citizens, constituted a criminal group organized in order to commit on the territory of Romania, but also other countries such as the United States of America and Great Britain, of the crime of human trafficking. Victims were recruited by British citizens by misrepresenting their intention to enter into a marriage/cohabitation relationship and the existence of genuine feelings of love, the lover boy method. They were later transported and housed in buildings in Ilfov County, where by exercising acts of physical violence and mental coercion, through intimidation, constant surveillance, control, and invoking alleged debts, they were sexually exploited by group members by forcing them to perform demonstrations, pornographic for the purpose of producing and disseminating through social media platforms.
So I end up with all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there, bored, completely in love with me. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out. Like, oh, Tate's away, so they go out with their friends. No. You don't go to the club with your friends. I don't know what kind of bitch-ass dude is letting his chicks go to the club with her friends without him. No, you stay in the house. You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurants, no clubs, nothing.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
Impulsiveness or failure to plan ahead. Hostility, significant irritability, agitation, aggression, or violence.
And I sat there and I said to Tristan, why does everyone think we're Mafia? We're not Mafia. Like, we don't run around with machine guns. I mean, obviously we have guns. Our house is full of machetes. Are we Mafia? Anyway, I don't think I'm Mafia. So I said to Tristan, look, we're not Mafia. Tristan goes, yes, we are. And I said, why? He goes, we're 2 huge fighting brothers with women naked on the internet who own casinos, who drive around Bucharest, Romania in over $2 million worth of fucking supercars. Everyone's afraid of us. And if anyone did piss us off at any point, even if we didn't want to fuck them up ourselves, we can make one phone call and they'd either be in a ditch or lose any right to stay here. They'd have some visa issue and get kicked out the country, or arrested for no reason and put in a jail cell for months at a time. We are basically as Mafia as you can get. So I guess I'm Mafia. I didn't mean to be. So I was sitting there going, well, I never intended on being an organized criminal. How do you end up being Mafia? And I've concluded that if you are competent in every single sphere, you're going to be viewed as Mafia. If you're a big, strong, smart, rich guy who's super well connected, how can you not be Mafia? How can you not be when everyone wants to know you? Who doesn't want to know the kickboxing world champion who walks into the club with 20 big booty cuties? Everyone wants to know me. The Mafia want to know me.
Next is bravery, because can't fight is fine, but won't fight isn't. Won't fight is unacceptable in everything. If I'm with my 5 friends and I'm going toilet in the club and I come back and I see someone punch one of my friends, I am annihilating anybody in that guy's group. We'll find out why later. My guy could have been wrong. It could have been my guy's fault. I'm just hitting him. I'm just knocking everyone. When everyone's asleep and the threat is neutralized, I'm like, bro, what the fuck was that? Goes, oh, I started it. It's like, oh, fucking. First people have to pay, right? We'll worry about the whys afterwards.
Lack of empathy for others and lack of remorse about harming others. Well, I think that's pretty self-evident.
I'm famoosing these dudes, right? So the guy would be like, what kind of guys do you like? And if he was a young man, I'd say, I can't believe I'm talking to some young guy. All these old creeps are on here. Oh my God, you're so handsome. Why are you even here?
So
if he was an old guy, I would say, oh my God, I'm finally glad to talk to you. All these young creeps keep coming and talk to me. I want a guy who's serious, who's ready to settle down. I know older men will settle down. Sell the dream, sell the dream, sell the dream. We got to the point where we had these guys falling in love with my models, serious, big time in love, right? Sending crazy money. And they were convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt bad. Because they were like, can we meet? I've sent you $200,000. Can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet? And the problem
What was
is,
the most that one person sent to a model? Total.
Million?
Wow. Wow.
About a mil in about a year.
I know you don't feel bad at all.
Why the fuck would I care?
I don't feel bad, yeah.
So, thank you. So, after this, girls cannot meet guys under any conditions. So what the girls would do is they promise meetings. And maybe this is a bit bad. Here's where the famoose would start. So it'd be good, like I had a lot of girls who worked for me, and the best was like the Ukrainians or the Russians. It was amazing. Because they'd get some guy, fall in love, they'd arrange the day to meet, all this shit, I need a visa. Okay, get a visa. I need money for a visa. Okay, how much is a visa? It's $900. No, but it's not $900 because I went to the embassy. They think I'm a risk, and I need a return flight there and back, and I need a hotel. I need to have spending money in my bank account. They won't let me come. How much you need? All right, 10 grand. Boom, it's 10 G's. Thanks. Wow. Go to the embassy, take a picture outside the embassy, boom, come back. They rejected my visa. They said we have to wait 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, they'll give it to me. Okay, baby, boom. 2 more weeks of tips. Boom, 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 boom. Because now he thinks he's gonna fuck, right? Thinks we get the girls. Now he's spending more than ever. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. 2 weeks come. Some other problem. I'd have staff. She was online 24 hours a day. Her WhatsApp, her this. She was famoosing when she was asleep. We were bringing in money from the fucking sky. We were promising all these meetings, all these pictures outside of embassies, all this shit. Eventually, the girl, what she would do is she'd say, oh, I don't want to go embassy. She'd give a really lame excuse to try and provoke the man to get angry. So she'd say, the embassy want me to come back, but I have a headache. That was the one we'd use. He'd be like, I just sent you $1 million. You promised you were going to come. You said you had to delay. Now you're saying you have a fucking headache and you won't go to your appointment. To make him mad on purpose, because that would annoy any man.
Now look, I'm not trying to defend the guy, but at the same time, I'm a little curious. How do they find these people?
And then, that's what we needed. We needed a little trigger. We go, why are you being aggressive? I'm not being aggressive, but you're not serious, da-da-da. And then we'd say, but you know what? I really like you, and I'm flying to the other side of the world by myself, and now you're being aggressive, and now I'm intimidated. And we'd flip it on him, saying, well, now you're being scary. No, I'm not being scary, but you know, it's your appointment. You're supposed to go, yeah, but I feel sick, and you don't even care.
Does this sound anything like someone who's empathetic or someone who is cold and callous and manipulative for personal gain and pleasure? You know, just think about it for a second.
Female bullshit. Female bullshit. And flip it on him. Flip it on him. And he'd get fucking furious because we were really good at fucking
both sides.
Poking him. To the point where he'd go like, you're a fucking scammer, you fucking scam me, get really mad. I can't believe you think I was a scammer. I was gonna come, I went to the embassy, you're a fucking liar. Every man in my life has only lied to me. I thought you were different. Da-da-da. Big beef, big argument. Yep. Big argument. But here's the thing. The guy would get pissed off, right? And leave, stop tipping her, stop coming to her. But for these men, that's the only chick in the world, the only hot chick in the world who talks to him. Maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe it takes 3 weeks. He's in bed at night, alone, jerking off, looking at her old videos and pictures, watching her stream again from another account so she can't see it's him, sitting there going, maybe she was gonna come. Maybe I just got too mad when she had a headache. Maybe I should have been a little bit more patient and she would have been my girlfriend. And 100% of the time, in less than 3 months, they'd be back with an apology, a brand new pile of money, and the cycle would repeat. We fucking killed the game. Millions of dollars a week. If you're my friend, you just can't be a pussy. I had a heart attack. Get the fuck up. What's wrong with you? Go to hospital later. Have a drink. Cigarette. Cup of coffee. Back in the game. Fucking having heart attacks near me, you little pussy. So none of my friends would even have those kind of problems because I don't roll with fucking little bitches. I'm smart, but I'm already using it trying to make money. I'm just writing down everything I have. And I had like these 5 girlfriends from fighting all around the world, right? So I'd fly to Paris, I'd knock someone out, I'd fuck a ring girl, and then she'd be like, oh, you're the champ, you're the champ. I'm like, yeah, I love you too, baby. And I'd leave. And they'd think like I was this big baller in London. I mean, I had an apartment and a nice car. My life was fine. But I also had some problems from previous life, which I can't talk about on the internet. And they were still in love with me. So I was texting all these bitches, whatever. So I had these 5 girlfriends in these 5 different cities all around the world. So I thought, well, are the girls an asset? So what I did is I unplugged their keyboards and plugged a new one in from me behind the screen. So the chicks would sit there and hit a keyboard that wasn't plugged in. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just famoosers, just laughing and doing this, the titties out, and they were talking to fucking ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it. If they'd come and say, what kind of, all of it. We were fucking milking them dry. Women haven't got a clue how to famoose a dude. They don't have, because they rely on their looks. They don't have any of the intellect. They have no game, nothing.
There's some, though. There's
nothing.
There's some.
Nah, you get a man with game and give him a female's body, a female avatar. He will f a guy up. I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all. So like, and it's basic, right? You'd have a guy.
Feel bad or no?
No, to give a solitary.
Did you tell like?
I don't give a.
Broke a lot gambling, so I just try to spend it before I go broke.
That's smart. I had a friend who did that once. I used to live with a gambling addict. He kept getting worse because I kept telling him to gamble more because I'm a good housemate. So every time he'd walk in the house, I'd be like, casino, bro, you can win it all back, and all this shit. He started seriously losing all his money, and he got to the point where if he won the casino, he had to go buy clothes or buy something that day, or he knew he'd lose it again. It was funny to me. It was really funny to watch his life disintegrate because he was actually a millionaire, and then in real time, I watched him like sell his property, sell his car, like completely lose everything.
That is crazy, bro. Gambling is so bad.
I know, but I'm a good friend, so I helped him along the way. I was laughing and shit, you know.
Unnecessary risk-taking or dangerous behavior with no regard for the safety of self or others. I think this can be also shown through his gambling. Failure to consider the negative consequences of behavior or learn from them. Interesting. Being consistently irresponsible and repeatedly failing to fulfill work or financial obligations.
Really long story, but fuck it. Fuck it. We're one of the biggest podcasts in the world, I'll tell it. So I owed some money to some dangerous people. We won't tell that story, but I need the money fast. And I had 70 grand, I need 100 to stay alive.
I can't tell if he's trying to brag that he hangs around dangerous people or that he lives a lifestyle where he's constantly in peril with, I guess, the law or some sort of mafia. It's really strange because this is all coming from a man who claims to be very virtuous.
And I wasn't fighting for a while. That's the time, the only way I was making money. So I thought, you know what? I'm sitting there. I had 70 grand cash in my house. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes, Tate, God just loves you and you just get lucky. You're gonna go to the casino and you're gonna make the 30. So I told Tristan my plan. He's like, bro, what if you don't do it? I said, bro, if I don't do it, we're fucked anyway. Like, they're gonna get us eventually, we're gonna end up dead. So I took 20 of the money, went to the casino, and lost it all.
You almost can't make this stuff up.
So I came home, now we owe 50.
What did you play in the casino?
Right, so I know the odds. I know that statistically the best odds are blackjack. And I know that you can memorize perfect strategy in blackjack, which I've memorized. So I know that you have the statistical best odds in blackjack if you memorize perfect blackjack strategy, which I have done.
What, counting cards?
It's not counting cards, it's just knowing when to hit, when to stick,
Knowing when to hit, when to stand
based on
in
the
every
dealer's card
scenario,
showing,
yeah.
etc. But I prefer roulette. And the reason I prefer roulette, even though the odds are trash, is because I feel like in roulette, I have no control. So if I lose, I feel I have a clearer conscience because I just put the money down, I ain't got anything to do with it. Whereas if I hit when I go bust, it's my fault. And the fault annoys me. I know a lot about gambling. I know a lot about the odds of gambling. I know that there's absolutely nothing you can do on a roulette board that affect the odds of roulette. Mm-hmm. So single zero roulette is 2.7%, I believe. On single zero roulette, if you play for long enough, you're gonna lose 2.7% of your money over a long enough period of time. It doesn't matter how you bet. It doesn't matter if you bet on one number, all the numbers. It doesn't matter if you bet on red, black, blah, blah, blah. That's the stake built in. So it really doesn't make a difference what you do. So I just bet on these same 5 numbers that are my numbers for personal reasons, and that's it. So I lost 10 grand in roulette. Thought, fuck it, got up the odds. Went to blackjack. Stuck to perfect strategy, got wiped out, got fucked. Came home, now I'm 50 G's down. So I said to Tristan, we got a week to pay this money. I'm not gonna leave my bedroom until I find a way to make 50 grand. And I got a piece of pen and paper, I've been taking notes the whole time. And I got to the point where I was trying to write down my assets. So I got a BMW, what's that worth? 22 grand something. I had a rented apartment. I'm big and strong, but I'm already fighting. I'm smart, but I'm already using it trying to make money. I'm just writing down everything I have. And I had like these 5 girlfriends from fighting all around the world, right? So I'd fly to Paris.
I quit gambling. I know, I shouldn't have done that. I quit gambling and everything went wrong in my life. So I quit gambling. I was gambling all the time at this one casino. And I made some money, I lost some money. Anyway, I lost like 15 grand. Went back the next day and I won like 20 grand. And I'm up. And I was leaving and I saw on the wall, ban yourself, self-ban. And I thought, you know what? Everyone bans themselves from the casino when they've lost lots of money. I'm gonna ban myself when I just won a bunch of money. I'm gonna beat the casino. I'm gonna win the house. So I went there to the manager, go, I wanna ban myself, please. He was like, really? Because he'd never seen someone ban themselves after a big win. So Yeah, I want to ban myself. He goes, you just made money. You're gonna come back. It's like, nope. That's what you want. That's what I'm gonna do. No thanks. Ban me. Fill out the paperwork. Ban myself from my favorite casino in London, the Sportsman it was called. Ban myself with my winnings. Thought I was the G. Went home with all my money. I've quit gambling now. I quit a winner. The only man to beat the casino.
We're gonna sit here talking all night. We're gonna go fucking gamble. Let's fucking go.
Are we gamblers? Where's your mask?
What do you mask?
Mask.
What do you mask?
No, it just tastes really good. Like it's mint.
Let me tell you a secret, Luke. I'll kick the motherfucking fuck out of you.
So all the girls I know love those ones, but that's
Did you just...
Money isn't real. None of this is real.
This is just...
It's free. It's free.
What do you mean free?
Free money. Lose it all.
Lose it all.
Andrew, I know you said money isn't real, but I am getting fucked.
Money's not real. It's not real.
There's no way he wasn't on what I assume to be some sort of stimulant in that last clip. Just feel free to rewind and look at his pupils and the way he kind of clenches and almost grinds his teeth. That's a common thing with people who either indulge in cocaine or meth. Also, did I forget to mention people with antisocial tendencies tend to also have substance abuse issues, poor or abusive relationships. Okay, this is the only one Andrew seems to get like a bit of a free pass on, only because we don't really have much evidence to the history of who he dated and how those relationships went. There's like some circumstantial evidence pointing to the fact that he kind of lives this playboy lifestyle. Maybe the reason for that is because he often has poor and abusive relationships, but then again, we don't know, and I don't want to jump to conclusions. Adults with antisocial personality disorder typically show symptoms of conduct disorder before the age of 15. Signs and symptoms of conduct disorder include serious, persistent behavior problems such as aggression toward people and animals, destruction of property, deceitfulness, theft, and serious violations of rules. Although antisocial personality disorder is considered lifelong in some people, certain symptoms, particularly destructive and criminal behavior, may decrease over time, but it's not clear whether this decrease is a result of aging or an increased awareness of the consequences of antisocial behavior. Okay. Make of this what you will.